What's up, everybody? It is a Blue Drake, and man, days like this get me excited. I know it is early in the morning, so I apologize for anybody that I'm waking up by uploading this video, but these are just the kinds of things that need to get out ASAP. Now, before we get started, for those of you who may or may not know, YouTube does not really like the fact that we cover violent video games and military-related content, and we've kind of been at war with them for the past year, where not only are our videos getting demonetized for having conflict-oriented content. I mean, I don't know, that's what they call it. Our videos aren't recommended as much because we're a controversial channel. Our subscriber feeds don't activate as much. Lots of bad things that really get in between us and you guys, because you guys want to see this stuff. You don't really care what YouTube thinks, and quite frankly, neither do we. So if you want to get around the man, make sure you click the button top right hand corner of this video where you can go and you can subscribe to us using a notification system off of YouTube. So every single time we upload a video, you will get a notification if you say that you want it, and YouTube is not getting in the way of you and watching what you want to watch. So go here and you can subscribe to us with our own notification system, and you will always be notified when a video is uploaded. Now, with that out of the way, for those of you who are not aware, Ready or Not is a game that was announced within the past year that is a spiritual successor to SWAT 5. The game that is probably never going to be made by the people that actually made the original SWAT series. So indie developers, as it seems always has to be the case nowadays, have stepped in and are making what is looking to be, quite honestly, better than I would even expect an actual SWAT game to be. Like, this is really starting to almost look like more SWAT than SWAT. Like, it's gritty, it's gory, it's realistic in ways that most games don't even touch on. And I guarantee you, whatever big AAA company would pick up an official successor for this game wouldn't even let the amount of gritty realism seep into the game that these indie developers are really adhering to. It's great. It's great. And I know we're looking at a screenshot right now, and you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, Blue Drake, are we looking at screenshots again? No, we are not. This is actual footage, fam-a-lam, of the game in action, and we're going to go through every tiny little piece of it that has been released. It's really impressive, it's really exciting, and I really can't wait to get my hands on this game. So let's go through really quick. Here's a couple sections of just room clearing, really small stuff. Like, they're putting us on a drip feed here. Like, I want to see more, but they're really rationing this out, but it looks incredible. The particle effects, I mean, I don't know what it is, but I personally think that particle effects really make the game. Like, you can see that this is the kind of game where when there's going to be a shootout, you're going to know there's going to be a shootout. There's going to be smoke. There's going to be damage. You're going to see the impact that you're going to have on your surrounding environment. Like, you're almost going to like smell the gunpowder. It has such a nice sheen of believability to the entire game. I don't know if that makes sense to you all, guys, but seriously, it's like when you're sitting here shooting guns, it's almost like, oh my gosh, I'm out on the range right now, and I really have to respect people for not holding back in terms of making the aesthetic of the game not just really pretty, but really authentic. And let's talk about what this game is going to be like, because I know there's going to be a bunch of people on here that are going to be like, oh, what is this, Rainbow Six Siege 2? No, it is not. If you have not played SWAT, or maybe you've only played Rainbow Six Siege and you don't know what SWAT is, completely different kind of game. I would almost say, and this might be a controversial statement, but I would almost say that SWAT is almost more of a role-playing game than an action game. So here, let's actually go through this little action sequence here, stitch them both together. Oh man, look at that. Now, let's see. There was one more video clip. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Take a look at this really quick. Here's some of the death animations that are going to be in the game, and this is the kind of game where, you know, there's going to be so many tiny details in the animations of the characters, in the way that they react to gunfire, the way that they react to getting shot. That's just going to add such a depth that I really can't wait to see it all come together, because right now they're kind of showing us these things in pieces, you know, like, oh, here's the gunplay, here's the death animations, but seeing all of this put together in the chaos of an actual raid, of an actual SWAT raid, like in game, is going to be really incredible. And you can just see. I mean, look at this. I mean, this game is. Is there a rating above mature for violence? Like, this is going to be like actually being in some of the situations that this game is kind of trying to depict, which again is why I'm kind of saying, like, oh man, this is almost more SWAT than SWAT could be. And also, let's talk again about the difference between SWAT and other games. What this is going to be is more of a simulation of very real encounters. That was what the original SWAT was about. SWAT 4, SWAT 3. You know, it's not like you go in there like with Rainbow Six Siege. With Rainbow Six Siege, it's go in there and fucking kill these guys. You know, like, go in there and just whoever kills everybody else the most wins the game. Whereas SWAT is all about a much more, I know a lot of people are going to use the word tactical experience, but that's not really what it is. It's about almost the entire encompassing police work side of being in SWAT. You know, you're not just going in there to kill people. You're going in there to neutralize and solve a situation, preferably without killing people, if at all possible. With SWAT 4, you had a wide variety of tools at your disposal. You know, you had all sorts of different kinds of, like, pepper spray and non-lethal tools that would give you benefits throughout the entire mission if you're able to resolve it peacefully. You know, if you can actually go through without killing everybody, and get everybody handcuffed and intimidate people so they put down their weapons, and try to find non-violent resolutions while obviously still being aggressive, but finding non-violent yet aggressive solutions to the situation in many cases is preferential. And I think that's what we're going to see here. You know, that's what Ready or Not is showing itself to be. You know, if there are going to be situations when you're going to get into a firefight, there are going to be situations where you're going to have to get rid of someone. And you can see there's lots of little homages to SWAT in here. As you can see, as soon as he takes out this guy, you see it says report dead suspect. And that's going to be a big aspect of the game. You know, like, you're not just going in there and just mopping people up and mowing them down. You're going in there, and if there's actually an event, if you take somebody out, you're going to have to actually call that in. You know, if you see something that's different, you might even have to, like, coordinate before you act on it. There's so many things that is going to separate this so much from other tactical police style shooters, and we haven't really seen anything like this since, God, like, whenever SWAT 4 came out, which is incredible to not have had something like this in so long. I'm not going to be surprised if a lot of people are going to be confused. There's going to be a lot of people out there, they're going to be like, what is this game? I've never seen this before. Now, one thing that I really want to see is SWAT had a big emphasis on single player. And looking through this, it looks like this game is also going to have, you know, like, we're looking at, you know, you're seeing other guys here. These are obviously, you see it says AI clearing and positioning systems. So obviously these are the AI that are following you, that are going through and clearing and doing their job. So there's going to be a single player component to this game, and I'm sure it's going to be a major focus, just as it was in SWAT 4. And the other games. But what I would really like to see I would love to see them kind of preserve this almost borderline role play aspect of the game in multiplayer. You know, if they could take that aspect and have it still function in the same believable way in multiplayer, that would be really, really incredible. I mean, don't get me wrong, not that I'm gonna be, poo-poo having great single player mechanics, but that's something that I think has really been missing in multiplayer. Having that kind of almost role play aesthetic that works really uniquely in games like this, but with more people. And I think especially since there's a lot more channels like mine out there, you got me, you got Karmakut, you got Shermanator, you got a lot of people where it's not about just going in there and bunny hopping around and just killing as many people as possible. Like we're here to exemplify an experience and kind of bring almost a cinematic quality out of games, but preserve it in multiplayer, if that makes any sense. Because you've got things like Call of Duty single player campaigns where the player campaigns are really immersive and really maybe not in terms of like realism, but it's still it's like you're actually involved in something that's more than just getting kill streaks or something. There's narrative there, and I think there's this rising demographic over the past couple of years, especially ever since I started my channel, and this is something that we kind of started doing when you see other channels like Dyslexy kind of pioneered this entire idea, and then I kind of I was one of many people that kind of like followed suit because we were all very hungry for that experience. And what that experience was that cinematic, almost narrative driven experience, but not in single player, in multiplayer, where the people you're interacting with are real people, maybe retarded people and ridiculous people, but people nonetheless, and they're reacting in realistic ways to the situation. Maybe not even necessarily in terms of role play. That's one of the reasons that Project Reality is so incredible. That's why people love Squad so much, because you're playing this game that feels like role play, but because it's structured as a competitive game, it makes it that much more visceral. It makes it that much more believable, because these people, it's not like you're running around in Disneyland and you're talking to these guys and they're like actors or something like that. Like these are people that are thinking and trying to make plans in real time and reacting in real time and reacting dynamically and emergently in a way that is very similar to how people would react in a similar real life situation. And that's something I think we could go into deeper, especially with something like SWAT. Like, I really think we could go into that deeper, where you take something like Rainbow Six Siege, where Rainbow Six Siege is really interesting and it's really fun, but it doesn't have that kind of narrative built into it. And you could go into that with something like this, where you can handcuff players, and maybe those handcuffed players can get rescued by like their friends and stuff like that. Or maybe there's other things where they're trying to protect like drugs or something like that, and there's actual environmental narrative that is built around the entire situation, where people are playing the game competitively, but at the same time it's embedded in this much deeper sense of immersion, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know if I'm just rambling now, but I know a lot of my followers probably understand exactly what I'm kind of saying, and what I think this could be, the boundary that I think this could push in terms of multiplayer. That it would be cool if it pushed, but if it doesn't, then hey, not a big deal. But yeah, it's really, really incredible. I really hope we get to see more footage here soon. This is everything that they've released so far. If there's more, I'll be sure to tell you. Make sure you go follow me on our notification system outside of YouTube, because like, come on, look, let's be real. As soon as I release this footage right now, YouTube's gonna like slam me a couple more. They've already taken me off of like you can tell that there's like recommended subscriptions in the bottom right hand corner of the channel. They've already taken me off of that, so you can't like, I don't get recommended on other people's channels anymore. And oh man, it's bad. It is. You have no idea how bad it is. But if you want to help us survive YouTube trying to crush this channel, make sure you go there, help us out, and then I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will let you guys know anything else about ready or not, as it comes. Okay. Cutting myself off now. Talk to you soon. Cheers.